Hello and welcome to this edition of R&B Reviews. I am Rob, and today I'm joined by Dan.
Hi.
Hey Dan, welcome back.
Thank you.
So you ready to do your first movie review of the year?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, okay. So I beat you by a couple other reviews, just to let you know. No
hard feelings.
Yeah, none taken. All right. Well, we just got out of seeing the movie Molly's Game. We're actually in the parking lot of the theater right now. I'm warming up my car. There might be a little bit of rattling in the background. But this is a movie that's based on a real life story about Molly Bloom, who created an illegal poker game. First, she started out as a skiing student back in her late teens until an injury forced her to reevaluate her life, and then she ended up going to Los Angeles working for a poker game in there, and then she went out to strike out on her own, and before you know it, the FBI's after her, other people are after her, and Idris Elba is in this movie, and he ends up playing her lawyer. And it's written by Aaron Sorkin, who also directed this movie. I think this is his first time directing, but Aaron Sorkin's been a very prolific writer. He wrote A Few Good Men and many other projects and TV shows. And so this movie, the reason why I wanted to see this movie mainly was because of him, because I've been a good admirer of his work. I think he's a very good writer, and also the movie has Jessica Chastain as Molly Bloom, and it just sounded like a very interesting story. I gotta say, I thought the movie was very good. I think if this is Sorkin's first time directing, I think he does a very competent job. I think he did a good job directing the actors. The camera shots are good. The characters are interesting, and I was really involved with the story. I do think that sometimes the dialogue did sound a little bit wordy, and the performances were very good. Jessica Chastain and as good as Molly Bloom, and Idris Elba as her lawyer was also very excellent. Kind of makes up for his performance that he gave in The Dark Tower last year. Michael Cera, I haven't seen him in a long time, but he was kind of typecasted as the the nervous boy, and he plays one of the poker players, and I thought he was pretty good here. He's playing a different type of character, and there were, like I said, other than sometimes the dialogue being a little bit wordy, I felt like there were a couple slow spots here and there, but I would say I kind of enjoyed the movie. What did you think, Dan?
I thought the movie was okay. It had more flashback on top of flashback, but the storyline was almost on point. Mm-hmm. And thought the person that's doing Molly's character was a good actor. Yeah, Jessica Chastain, she's very good here. Yeah.
Yeah, well, talking about flashback, the flashbacks didn't really bother me because I kind of for me, I kind of felt like it kept me on my feet. I mean, there were a couple times there's a lot of characters to keep track of in the movie, and sometimes it's kind of hard to remember who's who and how they all kind of fit in with the story. And there is one point where they talk about an incident that we hadn't seen until later on in the movie, and I didn't know what they were talking about. But the flashbacks for me didn't really bug me at all. I thought it was an excellent movie. I really liked, like I said, the acting, and I think, it was, I also liked some of the themes that they tackled within the movie, and I thought it was very well done. I just think there were some pacing issues that could have been fixed up, and sometimes the dialogue, I think we were given too much that I felt like didn't really have anything to do with what we were seeing, or sometimes it was kind of hard to follow. I think this is definitely a movie you might have to see a couple of times to grab everything. I'm sure there's elements that I'm not going to be able to catch from this first viewing, but I thought, it did a very good job.
Well, I'd say it did okay. I say the lore was really good, trying to get Molly back on her feet. Mm-hmm. And the people who were trying to prosecute her were doing a very good job. Mm-hmm. Then, I don't know, the dad seemed kind of like trying to be controlling over life.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, I think that's one of the themes of the movie is Kevin Costner plays her dad, and he's kind of like the thing about Molly is she's always determined, she's always up for a challenge, like she never takes no for an answer, and I think that's because her father kind of instilled that in her. He wanted her to be competitive. He is kind of like one of those what do you call those types of parents that are hover parents, he's kind of like that, and he's always pushing her, and I think that kind of played a role in why she kept go whenever she was down. You know, like when she and this is in the trailer, she loses her job at the first at the first poker game, and she, instead of getting down, she gets back up and, you know, tries to take, you know, her on, and then there's some other challenges. So I think that was one of the themes of the movie. I think that's probably another good performance was Kevin Costner as the father. But yeah, he is controlling, and he is a bit of a hover parent, and he's always kind of, you know, pushing her, and, you know, and there's some times when they're kind of, you know, going at each other. But yeah, it was very good. I would definitely say see this movie in the theaters. It came out a few weeks ago. I think it's definitely worth a watch. What do you think? How would you rate the movie?
I would say see it at home if you don't see it in theaters.
Okay. All right, so we're kind of a little bit split here, but that's our thought on Molly's Game. And go ahead, if you've seen the movie, go ahead and post your comments, or if you got any feedback for the channel. And in case you missed it, we are doing a special Q&A video. We're hopefully to get it up next week. So if you want to leave us any questions about that you'd like to ask us, you go ahead and post it in the comment box as well. Thank you very much for watching, and Dan, thanks for stopping in today.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Now let's get this car moving.
And get some heat.